Lifeline toll free at 800-273-TALK. That's 800-273-TALK. All of us are here to help.
WTIM. Good morning, Central Illinois, and welcome to the WTIM Morning Show on your information station. The show is sponsored by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and the landmark of Taylorville. I'm your host, Reed Camley. Good to be back in the studio this morning. And joining me to start things off here is Jody Heberling, a co-president of the Christian County Historical Society. Jody, thanks for coming in this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, it's good to have you in as always. And you've got plenty actually set to go on this summer. I know one of the things that I feel like would certainly draw in a lot of folks is the summer concert series. And we'll talk more about that broadly in a little bit. But it sounds like actually one of those instances is going to be especially special because on Wednesday, July 1st of this summer, you're going to be celebrating the 250th birthday of this nation. I know a lot of folks are doing that as well. And I'd love to hear about what you folks are going to be doing for that at the Historical Society.
Well, we're going to start off that Wednesday evening with having part of our buildings open to tour, and we're going to be selling a barbecue, hot dog, picnic type supper, and we're going to be giving free birthday cake away on the intermission of the Muni Band. So it is one of the Muni Band nights. The Muni Band starts at 7, but we're going to be open to serve sandwiches and stuff starting at 5. And we'll have our buildings open that you can tour. And I think you'll be able to feed, I think we're doing $10 for the barbecue meal with a drink and probably $5 on the hot dogs. So, you know, you can come out and eat reasonably and enjoy an evening of music and take a tour through some of our buildings.
No, that's lovely. I mean, $10 for the barbecue meal and a drink. Is that what you said? Yeah, I mean, good luck finding that deal anywhere else these days. So, yeah, let's see. Free. So, yeah, it says here free birthday cake for all to enjoy. And yeah, so no, sounds like a great deal for that. I know, like I said earlier, a lot of folks doing 250th anniversary celebrations of the U.S.'s independence. What kind of inspired you to get involved in this way?
Well, we are history and we are a museum, and we just felt like we needed to recognize it somehow. And with the Muni Band playing out there on Wednesday evenings anyway, we reached out to them to see if it was okay if we turned it into a little birthday party. And I was fortunate enough to get some donations from McDonald's and Kroger's and Walmart and Farm and Home. So we're able to give the birthday cake away, and we're going to try to make a little bit of money on selling the meals and stuff. And you can come out and enjoy an evening. You don't have to be there at 5 o'clock, depending on how long it takes you to eat. Get there in time to eat before the concert starts at 7 and enjoy the evening. We have the beautiful grounds, and we're always in the shade for the concerts. And it always seems cool, even though it may be hotter than Hades out there. There's always a cool breeze out there, and it's just bring your lawn chair and enjoy the evening out with some music and enjoy the birthday cake. And if you want, you come out and eat with us and let us earn a little bit of money, and we'll all be happy.
No, it sounds like it. I mean, it sounds like happiness all around there. So, yeah, no, that's great. You talked about the companies donating stuff. Are they donating the food, or was it just like a financial donation?
Most of it's kind of I've got the food and part of the water donated, and the buns, and so that lets us make a little more money on our profit. And Walmart and Kroger's were both gracious enough to donate the birthday cake, so that lets us give it away, and all works out.
Yeah. So no, I love that for you folks. Wednesday, July 1st is when they're having that celebration. I'm glad you also mentioned the shade because yeah, obviously it's been hot here lately. And I'm curious with the Historical Society, like when it gets like really, really hot during the summer, like, do you notice like a slowdown in visitors on those sorts of days?
To our buildings are old, and it's amazing how the courthouse, for example, when it's 80 degrees outside, it's usually down in the 70s because just the way it was built, I guess, because it stays cool. We were out there some of the days in earlier May when it was good and warm, and the guys that were out there with us thought it was air conditioned, and it's like, it's just keeping the building shut up and keeping the hot air out of it, and it stays nice and cool. Two of our buildings, Morrison House, is air conditioned, so I mean we do have escapes to get away into cool, but in general the buildings seem to stay cool even though the outside temperature is kind of warm.
Yeah, so it seems like you folks are taking the steps to make that happen, and I'm sure also, right, being the historical society, you obviously want to preserve the historical nature of the buildings.
Correct. We are in talking about maybe doing something heating and cooling for the courthouse to help preserve it better. But then we run into the financial responsibility of paying another electricity bill. So it's kind of a rock and a hard place. What do? Do you leave it like it is? And because the changing in the weather is hard on that wood and the walls and all that stuff. So at least in the courthouse, it doesn't have plaster or anything like that causes big problems with the heating and cooling. But the Morrison House, we have to keep it heated and cool because it's got the old plaster walls on it, and they just start cracking with the temperature changes and variations. So we've learned that we try to do what we have to do, and we are nonprofit. We are solely supported by our volunteers and our membership and the fundraisers that we do. And we are up that between insurance and utilities alone, it's over $2,000 a month. And that's before we pay somebody to be out there part of the time. And just general maintenance seems like there's always something needs fixed.
Yeah. So, with you talking about, trying to protect the material, then that's a situation where it sounds like you sort of have to intervene in order to preserve the spaces to then show to people who visit. Anything else you want to share about that July 1st celebration before we zoom out a little bit more to the concert series?
Well, please take a minute and come out and see us because it should be, weather permitting, be a perfect evening to come stroll through by 5 o'clock. Most of the buildings are in the shade, and you can kind of stroll through and take a tour back in history. It's really fun to come in the buildings and see those things you saw when you were a young child, and it takes you back to where you were and brings up memories that are often forgotten until you see something that sparks it. So we've got a ton of things that'll take you back in time.
That's right. And so I'm looking forward to that. And hopefully at that point in the day, the sun at a bit of an angle will help make some shade as well. So again, Wednesday, July 1st, serving begins at 5 for
Correct.
The celebration of the U.S.'s 250th year of independence. So we've got that. Now that, of course, is also part of the concert series. So it's happening. It's happening Wednesdays. Sounds like at 7. And what else should folks know about the summer concert series?
Well, the summer concert series kicks off this year on June 10th. So starting on Wednesday evening, June the 10th at 7 o'clock, there'll be the Muni Band out there, and we usually try to sell strawberry shortcake or have water available. And it's bring your lawn chair. Don't forget your lawn chair. We do have a few benches and stuff that can be set on, but it's best if you bring your own lawn chair. There's plenty of parking out there, and you can let somebody else out close to the gate if you have to. And, if you've got somebody who's limited, we do have some that come early enough to park where they can just stay in their car and listen. It's that nice of an atmosphere. And so much of it's in shade. So just being outside in the summer in the shade with the wind blowing and the beautiful music that the Muni Band makes, it just makes for a relaxing evening.
Yeah, no, it certainly does. And then, obviously when you get all those things you mentioned, right, it's later. So it's, maybe a little bit cooler. I know, being outside in the hot is tough for some folks, but you get that. And Yeah, it just sounds like a great atmosphere. So, so the Taylorville Municipal Band. So it sounds like, the same group of people. In terms of like the performances each week, is it like a different set of songs? How does that work?
Yes, they do. They practice, I believe, on Monday evenings to play on Wednesday. So they set up their music so they can go through it once on Mondays, and they have a different. Usually they do big band one night, they do jazz one night. They kind of mix it up and do different genres of music, so you get a little bit of everything. They played stuff for Beach Boys clear on down to John Philip Sousa. So, I mean, you can get a whole variety. I'm guaranteeing you'll hear something you like during the evening.
No, that's great. And yeah, nice little variety of songs and pieces and performances and all of that. Anything else to mention about the summer concert?
They usually have guest singers and stuff, and so it is a good variety, and it's always a quality experience.
Nice. So no, that is lovely, and can't wait for that. Wednesdays at 7, starting on June 10th. I'm joined right now by Jody Heberling, a co-president of the Christian County Historical Society. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll have more to talk about right here on the WTIM Morning Show on your information station.
Your information station, WTIM.
When it comes to connecting with America's farmers and ranchers, nothing beats the authentic voice of Ag Radio. Farm broadcasters have been the voice of rural America since 1944, building trusted relationships with agricultural producers across generations. Today, the network of over 140 Ag radio stations reaches farmers and ranchers during their most productive hours when they're actively working their operations and making business decisions. What makes Ag Radio uniquely effective? Farmers listen to farm broadcasters for information that directly impacts their livelihood. When your message is delivered alongside crucial weather updates, market reports, and agricultural news, it receives the same attention and credibility. Farm Radio Connects offers agricultural advertisers targeted access to this engaged audience through professionals who understand both broadcasting and agriculture. According to the National Association of Farm Broadcasting, 78% of farmers consider information from farm broadcasters highly trustworthy. When you need to reach rural America effectively, choose the voices they already trust. Visit IllinoisFarmRadio.com and discover how Ag Radio can elevate your agricultural marketing strategy.
Spring just has a way of putting a little more energy into everything. Brighter days, warmer air, and more reasons to get out and enjoy it. Your home should keep up with that. At Hickory Point Garden Homes, you'll have your own one-story duplex with bright open spaces, a private patio, and neighborhood walking paths just outside your door for that perfect stroll in the spring sunshine. You can spend less time managing your home and more time enjoying the warm spring days ahead. See what that feels like at Hickory Point Garden Homes in Forsyth, Illinois, and step into comfortable living for 55 and better.
Get ready for an action-packed week at the 2026 Christian County Fair, July 21st through 25th in Taylorville, Illinois. Come out for all the fair excitement. Friday night, July 24th. It's not one, but two country superstars in the grandstand featuring country sensation Terry Allen.
Nothing on but the radio.
And special guest Mark Chestnut.
I'm going through the big D and don't mean Dallas.
For a complete fair schedule and to get your tickets now, go to thechristiancountyfair.com.
It's tax time and your refund goes farther at Landmark at Taylorville, your Chevy, Buick, and GMC headquarters. This is Bill Pinkston, General Sales Manager. Drive home in style, power, and reliability with huge savings on our full lineup of trucks and SUVs. Bring in your tax return and let one of my leprechauns maximize your budget. Plus, with over 400 pre-owned vehicles in our family dealerships and our lifetime powertrain warranty, why would you buy anywhere else? All roads lead to Landmark at Taylorville. And remember,
You always do better at Landmark.
With over 8 hours a day of agriculture programming weekdays and 2 hours on Saturdays, WTIM AM, FM, and online is your ag information station. Listen by tuning in on air or online and listen to WTIM Ag podcasts anytime.
Spring brings brighter days and more time to enjoy them. Your home should too. At Hickory Point Garden Homes in Forsyth, enjoy one-story living and walking paths right outside your door. Spend less time on upkeep and more time enjoying spring. Learn more by clicking our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome welcome back to the WTIM Morning Show on your information station, sponsored by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville. I'm your host, Reed Kamai, and I continue my conversation with Jody Heberling, a co-president of the Christian County Historical Society. Now, we've talked before. I know you've talked with Grayson about the courthouse roof, because I know there had been some work done on that, and it sounds like you actually have more to share about the roof.
We're really excited. Brava, who donated the roof materials, have sent a cinematology couple of guys up from Georgia who came out and did some interviews and photographed the whole museum, went through all the buildings, taking pictures, and Brava's going to use it on their Facebook or on their website for advertisement and doing good things for communities. And we will be linking to it when they get it up going, but it'll be a great little teaser of what we have out there. And they were professional people. It'll be professionally done. And we still can't thank Whitney and Brava enough for donating the roof, because it was going to be over $30,000 to replace it. And it was a need, because the courthouse is one of the most precious things we've got out there, because not very many people can say they still have a building that Abraham Lincoln practiced in. So we're excited to be moving forward and getting some more mileage out of our courthouse and getting the word out there that it is here available to see in Taylorville.
In Taylorville, and that's a big deal. You said $30,000. I mean, that's a big deal.
It was a very big deal. They came back with we had a massive leak last summer when we had a long stretch of rain and the books were getting wet, and it was just terrible. And we knew we had to do something, but coming up with that kind of funding is almost impossible for us.
That's right.
And Corey Bland from down at Pana was the guy who came out to do the estimate. And, it came back and it's like, we just can't afford that right now. What are we going to do? Yeah. And he reached out to Brava and Whitney Roofing, and they were kind enough to donate it all. I mean, it didn't cost us anything. We did feed them lunch that day, the day they were putting it on. So we felt like we did contribute a little bit. And then they're going to utilize the opportunity of how their product matches the old style, because that was what was really neat. Because when you stand down at the office and look south, you could see the shake roofs on the depot and the schoolhouse and the courthouse, and standing that far away, you couldn't tell they weren't all real wood. So that was exciting to see after it happened, because that was the one thing I was a little leery about, using the composite roofing, that it would be too shiny plastic looking, but it's not. It looks wonderful, and it's such a asset to our organization.
No, and it certainly is. And I'm happy for you folks that you were able to get that done. And it sounds like, and kind of what I'm envisioning for that company is that they're put the video of it on their website, to kind of showcase their work and show that they do give back. They give back to the community and are proud of what they did, and they're happy that it matches. Like I said, when you take the picture from down at the office and look up. Yeah. No, that's great. So everybody wins with that. We got about a minute to go. You've got an update on the persimmon party.
Well,
share that.
We have set our date for the persimmon party. It'll be Saturday, November 7th. And it'll be pretty much like it always is. We usually have persimmon pulp, nature being nice to us. If we have a persimmon crop, we'll have persimmon pulp. And when I mowed, there was plenty of blooms, so I assume it will have persimmons. We have persimmon baked goods, and we usually have some other things going on. We have a Facebook page and a web site. We're pretty easy to find. Google us. Just make sure that you look for Illinois, because there's a Christian County, Kentucky that pops up pretty regular. And we're open Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays from 10 to 3.
Yep.
and leave a message on the phone, and we'll contact you if you've got some other dates you need us to work on.
Perfect. Jody, thanks for coming on.
Thanks.
Yeah, and thank you for listening here on WTIM.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville. 96.1 FM Taylorville. 107.5 FM Shelbyville. 107.9 FM Pena Nokomis. Right.